And joining us now to talk more about the role of the Technical Working Group, we have Aboy Paraiso, Chair of the TWG of the ICI and Acting Executive Director of the Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center. Magandang umaga sa iyo.
Magandang umaga, Gretchen. Thank you for having me in the program.
Okay, in several months, you've been shifted from the DICT to the CICC. Acting Executive Director ngayon, chairperson ka na ng Technical Working Group. Ano naman ang trabaho nitong TWG?
Well, yeah. As you said, I've been bounced around, but I think the more important work of the Technical Working Group has been stated yesterday again. Ito ho yung coordination ng efforts ng lahat ng mga ahensya ng pamahalaan para ho maka-recover ng mga assets ng mga pinaghihinalaan at mga kinasuhang mga individual linked to the flood control scandal. But more importantly, I think our bigger role is to preserve the assets. Kung sakasakali kung magkaroon ng judgment o ang mga korte natin, may titingnan pa rin ho tayo at may aasahan pa tayong makukuha dito sa mga individual or korporasyon na to.
Out of the 11.7 billion assets frozen, how much of those could already be seized or taken in?
Well, yung mga na-seize na ho natin, sa pagkakatansya ho namin, nasa malayo-layo pa ho tayo, nasa around 2 billion pa lang ho yung mga nakikita natin actually frozen at tinitingnan pa natin paano mo-freeze yung ibang mga assets ng mga, again, mga individuals and corporations that were involved. I think ang trabaho talaga namin is to use our individual mandates to freeze and prevent these assets from being dissipated. So, ibig sabihin, outside the legal system, may kanya-kanya kami mga mandato. For example, the BOC when it comes to forfeiture proceedings, the AMLAC when it comes to freezing the assets and bank accounts. And other agencies are thinking of ways to have these assets preserved in case of judgments being rendered against these personalities.
Okay, can I clarify that what you said? 2 billion pa lang yung frozen, actual frozen?
Yun yung binalita kahapon. Pero we would know for sure matapos na magkaroon ng dashboard ng iba't ibang mga agencies. So everyone can see in the Technical Working Group as well as the ICI can see yung mga ginagawa ng bawat isa at ano yung mga assets na na-recover na, ano yung mga assets frozen. So we can get a full tally. So that would be my understanding of what was actually frozen. I could be wrong, Gretchen.
Oo, pero bakit 12 billion na yung naideklara ng AMLAC that they were already able to freeze?
Baka yung pinag-uusapan kahapon or yung iba itong number na narinig ko is yung actual, baka yung additional na frozen assets. You have to remember, Gretchen, every month nagmi-meet kami. Now we decided every week kailangan namin mag-meet. Pero on a daily basis may mga mag-update na sa amin from our mga representatives from individual agencies. Mag-update na sa amin on a daily basis the progress of our efforts.
Okay. Someone asked, because you came from the DICT and the Cybercrime Investigation Group, why would a tech guy be put in charge of the Technical Working Group? I do understand, though, that the Vice Chair is Justice Undersecretary Deo Marco. Pero help us understand, why is a tech guy heading the Technical Working Group?
Hindi ko rin alam. Pero seriously, Gretchen, I think because of the CICC was nominated as the head of the Technical Working Group, first and foremost, is because we're a coordinating agency, which is actually the work of the Technical Working Group. We're not working as a new body here, but as a composition of individual agencies working together towards one goal. So that's where the coordination and investigation comes in. And I think the bigger function of the one who's trying to steer or trying to lead this Technical Working Group really is with regards to the coordination and the digitalization of that coordination. So baka yun yung iniisip ng mga kasamahan natin.
Oh, okay. And this database, could this be accessed by the public?
Hindi. Kami-kami lang po yan.
Kayo lang.
So this database would be accessed by each individual agencies.
Oo.
And even if yung ganung bagay, hindi ho lahat ng mga data na binabato namin doon, makikita ng bawat ahensya as a whole. For example, we were discussing yesterday that some of the things that AMLAC would be providing, for example, kailangan ho ni DOJ when it comes to case build-up, yung some data from the AMLAC, hindi ho lahat ng data na yung makikita ng lahat ng members because there are challenges and there are restrictions to what AMLAC can share. And I think it goes the same way for the BIR. So may mga restrictions din yan. Pero yung iba, yung karamihan doon sa mga ahensya na yun, for example, the DPWH, the SEC, pwede ho sila mag-data dump doon. Ibig sabihin, no, yung mga contracts ng DPWH, ilalagay na doon sa database na yun, tapos i-store na doon so anyone can access that.
Okay. And then, can you help me identify ano yung part ng 2 billion na na-freeze na?
Well, I cannot say that for certainty right now, but I'll leave that to ED Brian Osaka to mention ano yung mga part na yun.
Oo, kasi syempre for example, parte na ba nitong 2 billion na ito yung mga sasakyan na mga diskaya na nakuha at napa-auction? Kasama yon?
I think that's already part of it, yung na nagpa-auction na pero hindi pa rin kasama doon sa actual na bilang. I think solid din ng pera yung some of the personalities with the DOJ, so everything's being collated right now for a more specific number so we can update the public.
How about the air assets of Congressman Zaldico, which are under Misibis Aviation? Sinabi na magkakaroon daw ng konting challenge doon because it is not under his name but under the corporation.
Well, yeah, nagkaroon din ho ng update ang ating captain and we were discussing amongst ourselves how can we fast-track the procedures in order to bring these assets home. Pero linawin lang ho natin, meron ng freeze order dito sa mga air assets na to, at least 3 of them, na hindi na pwedeng galawin kung sino yung mga registered owners. So we're just actually looking forward for the courts to issue the forfeiture order para madala na natin dito sa Pilipinas. Kasi that in itself, from what I understood, presents a challenge kasi nagbabayad pa ho ang ating pamahalaan ng mga hangarage doon at saka yung mga repairs doon. So it's also in our interest na madalian yung pag-process ng pag-forfeit ng mga sasakyan na to.
Okay, in order for assets to be frozen, what are the legal challenges that you're facing and ano yung kinakailangan? Kailangan ba may naisampa na ng kaso?
Well, yun naman yung kagandahan ng technical working group yung ginagawa natin. This is outside ng mga pinafile na kaso. So there are 2 aspects. One is asset recovery, one is case build-up. So yung case build-up, yun yung pinagtutulong-tulungan din namin para ma-coordinate yung mga documentation para sinisiguro natin na pag halimbawa nag-file tayo ng kaso, medyo airtight na yung kaso. On the other part, yung assets recovery, as I was mentioning earlier, hindi nito kailangan na may ma-file na kaso like what happened with yung sa Bureau of Customs nung sinis nila at finorfeit nila yung mga sasakyan. Not necessarily may na-file na kaso.
Wait, so what would be the basis of freezing of the assets?
So that would be based upon each individual agency's mandates. For example, yung sa Bureau of Customs I was citing as an example, it was based on forfeiture proceedings. Yung iba naman na freeze na assets, it's based on for example, may mga nakakancel na corporations. So yun yung ginagamit natin to as basis to freeze the assets of these corporations.
Okay. I do understand that it was announced also that there was an AMLAC order freezing the bank accounts of several senators. Is that correct? Do you have that in your records?
Wala pa ho sa amin yan, hindi pa ho nai-report ni AMLAC. Again, this was discussed just yesterday. The dashboard was the beta for the dashboard was just presented yesterday. So we have 2 weeks to to approve yung dashboard as well as a joint memorandum agreement for all the agencies and the ICI para naman magkaroon ng basis at saka legal standing yung corporation namin with each other.
O, alam namin mabilis ka kasi magtrabaho, kaya baka overnight napuyat ka doon sa kakagawa nun, ano? Hindi, pero speaking of the senators, I'm talking about Senators Joel Villanueva and Jinggoy Estrada. Would the testimonies before the Blue Ribbon Committee and the House Infracom be enough to suspend or to rather freeze their assets? Kasi kung nasabi mo na kasi wala pang charges, ano? So how would you deal with that?
So even if that's the case, pag may nakita tayong mga basis para mag-freeze ng assets ng mga included individuals na nakikita natin na involved dito sa flood control scandals na to, like I said, hindi kailangan i-file na kaso kailangan lang tingnan namin yung mga mandato ng bawat ahensya, kung ano yung pwede namin gawin with the particular circumstances or particular pieces of evidence that we have, so we can exercise our mandates, our individual functions and powers para makapag-freeze ng assets, or kung hindi man ma-freeze yung assets, ma-forfeit talaga tapos ma-isoli yung pera sa taong bayan.
Okay, so the main role of the technical working group is to essentially do data gathering.
Well, two. One is assets recovery, second is case buildup. When it comes to asset recovery, nakikita na ho natin yung efforts ng BOC, nakikita na rin ho natin yung efforts ng AMLAC, at makikita natin later on yung mga efforts ng ibang ahensya para makapag-preserve ng mga assets na yan. I think Sec Vince already mentioned this prior, na we're looking also at the functions and mandate of the DTI para naman pagdating sa pag-freeze at saka pag-recover ng mga assets na to. So, with other agencies, nakikita rin natin dyan yung SEC can cancel the certificates of corporations para naman maging basis ng ibang ahensya para naman makapag-recover ng assets. So, ganun yung trabaho, Gretchen, no? Each individual agency has a role to play. So, ano ba, like we were mentioning, SEC, kailangan niya yan para magkaroon ng basis si AMLAC.
Hahanap kayo ng posibleng violation na na-commit
Yes.
Up to this point to be able to preserve the assets para meron pa tayong makuha. But as for the case build-up efforts, what will be, how will that effort go?
So, again, I think we're pulling in assets. Kaya nga ang particular group na mag-lead ng assets ko. Case build-up would be the DOJ. Katulong niya dyan ang Office of the Solicitor General and other agencies that have investigatorial and powers dyan ng PNP kasama natin. I think also the NBI would be participating in that particular effort.
But the role of the TWG in case build-up would be what exactly?
So, pag halimbawa, we would be getting directions from the ICI on who the particular individuals that we are planning to file cases. We would be assessing the documents, and we would be, kung kulang yung documentation na yun, we would be talking amongst ourselves on how to come up with that particular documentation para pag nag-file naman tayo ng kaso, more or less airtight na yung kaso.
Kumbaga, all the nitty-gritty is in your hands. Okay, we hope you get more sleep with the roles that you're playing now. A very, very essential work to actually getting justice in all these investigations. Maraming salamat for joining us this morning. The newly appointed chairperson of the Technical Working Group and acting executive director of the Cybercrime Investigation Division of the DICT. Maraming salamat, Aboy Paraiso.